Establish where we're going to go from. In the middle, we're discussing the mashal from the Pardes. When the oil is mislabish in the keli, and the principle is that the oil is mislabish in the keli, and it actually functions according to the design of the keli. Yet the oil itself remains unaffected. And the mashal for the Pardes is mayim, waters that appear, that give the appearance of colored water if they're in a colored keli, and yet the water themselves do not really acquire that color. So this is a mashal that the Pardes gives to understand the principle of oil mislabish in the keli. So we started discussing this because to us this water in the keli appears to be overly simplistic. Nothing really happens. It appears this way, it appears this way. As far as we're concerned, the water is water and the keli is a keli, and there is no interaction in the real sense of the word. And the reason that this is the way we see this whole phenomenon is that we are not aware of the effect of this, of the effect of the fact that you see colored water. It appears to us that when you see colored water, this is, so to speak, in our own making. This is not something that was provided for us. That's part of the creation of the world. I just want to, that we should project and imagine the world totally colorless. And we are living in a colorless world. If I would project, so to speak, the impression, the effect it would have, that we will lose a sense of our own midot. Now, when we do a kindness, and I said, how do you do a kindness? You give a $1 to somebody. But along with the gift of the dollar, there's some kind of a feel, some kind of an involvement. There's a chayus behind it. But if this were a colorless world, this would be just an act. This guy is drowning. Pull him out. Don't let him drown. There's no panic. Oh, look, our life is in danger. Just pull him out. This is the significance of the fact that that there is oil in the keli. And that in the chesed, it's not just an act of chesed that is compelled due to the circumstance, but there is a life behind it. There's a feel for it. And the feel comes in different colors. It comes in the form of chesed, in the form of gvura, in a form of mercy. These are all different forms, different colors. At the same time that it has all these colors, that is only a hislapshus of the Oyer HaNefesh. In all of them, is actually there is a nefesh element that is superior to all these various emanations, all these various expressions. And above that, there is the Malchus Shemayim. There's a Malchus Shemayim. There's a principle that there is again, let me put it in very simple terms. Human beings walk around on this earth seemingly unaware that, yeah, there is a creator and that their life comes from someplace and is meant for some purpose. They're just involved in their own enhancement, their own experiences. Again, if you project that a human being really loses perception that there is something beyond, something greater, some source to this entire greatness, and to his own mitzias, it's all contained within himself. What would that look like? Imagine that a person there's a person in danger, and this individual goes to save him from danger, and in his mind he has only one thing in mind. If I don't save him, people who see me will not think well of me. In other words, there's a natural cause for me going to save him. If this were our world, this would be a colorless world. How long will it last? It would collapse like a paper tiger, with nothing. In other words, with all the things that we say, there's hell and Hester. In everything there is a sense of the Oyer Eliki, all the way up to Elokus. Even those who deny, no, I'm an atheist. Okay. The atheism is skin deep. Because if you were atheist, you couldn't get up in the morning. Yes, Daniel.
As far as I know, all atheists wake up in the morning.
Did you hear what I said?
Yeah.
What did I say?
I said that talking about the colorless world.
No. You missed the point.
Okay.
They are superficially atheists.
Okay.
They're not atheists, in essence. It's impossible. You can't breathe if you're an atheist. Like I explain all the time. Reflect on this. You know how we breathe? Physically. You heard it from me. How do you breathe? We think we breathe in because we draw air into our lungs. It's not true. There's an air mass around us. The air mass extends 500 miles up. As a result of that, it creates a tremendous air pressure. This air pressure will enter into any crack or crevice that is of lesser pressure. So the minute our lungs are empty, the air forces itself into our nostrils. And this is how we breathe. Now we breathe because we're made to breathe. There's a constant experience of being given life. On the physical level, much more so on the spiritual level. Therefore, coming back to the motion of the Pardes, there's a Gavana Keli, the color of the Keli, and the color of the Keli affects the color of the, is manifest through in the color of the water. Seems like nothing happened. It just appears this way. It's extremely significant. This is what carries, so to speak, the life element of the oil all the way to the bottom, to the keli. And what the Pardes is explaining, that we must also understand the significance of the fact that the oil itself is not modified in itself. You're still looking at the real thing. You're not looking at a subset of the oil. You're not looking at a subset of water, colored water. You're looking at water, and they present themselves in a certain color, but it's real water. This is the oil is establishing keli. It's a phenomenal inyan that there is a hislapshus, which means it actually acquires. It speaks in that form, and it tells you something about itself in that form, but it in itself remains reality. And that fact that it remains reality is extremely significant. So that the color itself becomes what we call a life element behind this color. There are animals, v'hagum, that have also all the midas that human beings have. There are animals that represent these midas. Animals that have yonu chesed, rachamim. You know, a nesher is a rachmoni al bono. The animals, barigvurid, all kinds of different animals. All the midas that exist in a human being, v'hagum, exist in every animal. There is a so to speak, a categorical difference between the midas and the animals' experience and what the human being experiences. The animal experiences that midah itself. This is the way he was created, to have that midah. He doesn't have the upper level. My neshama is drawn into this. Well, this is what he is. And a human being, that is where he's categorically in different level. He has a neshama. Without pre-assigning any kind of nature to this person. First and foremost, he has a nishmas elokei Nishmas Chaim. What is it? His first awareness. His first awareness is by Ayin said, "My Daniel von Lecha." That's his first awareness. What is human first primary awareness that there is a godly reality? Then he comes into the world and he has to, so to speak, negotiate the very contours of the world, and their midas are formed. Oh, this guy did this guy did this. Now you have to react this. Yes, there is those aspects, but it does not mean that he necessarily loses his sense of the reality of what he is and what life is. This is why we say, Rahman al-Islam, when we see extreme cruelty in Rahman by people. So we don't say, oh, he got angry, he must have aggravated him. That's not an excuse. That's not an explanation at all. Extreme cruelty is a sickness. It's not human. Regardless of what enticed it.
Amalek?
Huh?
Amalek?
Amalek? Okay.
That's a sickness?
Okay. So this is what he says. That, yes, indeed, there's a color that's in the water. And the water, because of their neutrality, because of their deep truth, they can be shown and seen all kinds of different colors. And the color comes out with all its richness. Not only it actually enhances, because behind the color there is something which is greater than the color. The neutrality of the water. So this is actually enhances the color. And this is how it shows. In other words, yes, indeed, when we see colored water, we don't see color. We see colored water. We see some kind of a reality behind this color. This is pshat. The oil is mislabish in the kelim, and it becomes a midas achesed. Midas achesed does not mean exclusively a midah. It means oil leki in a midas achesed. On our simple level, Beis gave this following illustration. This is much deeper. You say, the person in his seichel, when he goes to point A to point B, and he has to walk 10 steps, he doesn't project 10 steps. He projects moving from here to here. Just the destination. Then, as he's making but to get there, he has to make 10 steps, and he has to consent, so to speak, to making steps, not getting there, but actually making steps. Each step that he is taking contains in it this element that he's actually going someplace. A person never makes a step like a robot. Every step is enlivened and inspired by the destination where he's going. It's not possible any other way. Although he has to forget about destination and make a simple step. like we discussed many times. The destination is something which a person projects immediately. Mokim Shodom Shodom Shalom Somhu. He's already there. And yet he has to forget about it and come down into, so to speak, the simple world, and do each step individually. And at the same time, while he's doing the steps, there is still the oir that inspires this whole movement. This is the phenomenon that we're learning. That the oir, no matter where it is, no matter how much it's in slavish and kelim, it remains and retains the quality of oir. Why? Because oir is an in atzmi. On the simple human level, I always point out this like this. If a person decides to go from here to here, and it takes 100 steps, do these steps now happen automatically by his original decision? Or does that each step require a decision to make the step? Can it be said that a person, once he starts walking on this path, has given up the option of changing his mind? That's what I'm saying.
That's like the color of the water.
Right, he didn't. Each step is taken, is a decision is taken an individual. That's why he's still aware. What is he doing? He's walking, he's going there. This is why we always say just one word. You're learning, seichel is a wonderful koyach. But seichel is totally dependent on the rotzen behind it. And each moment that you understand, it's the rotzen that enables you, that focuses you to go and understand what you're listening to. Because just like in the case of the color of the glass, the color I can ignore it. It doesn't bother me at all. Unless I'm interested in it, I don't see it. There's nothing to it. Only if I'm impressed, but only if I'm interested to see the richness that I got, then I will see it. The seichel is never in control of the person. It's the rotzen that enhances it. And yeah, of course, the seichel guides it, because the rotzen wants it to be guided according to the slapshus in the world, which is the seichel. But it gets its mandate all the time from the rotzen. This is it for this morning.
Godliness.